Namaskar friends, today I am going to present on teaching of poetry. When we enter a poetry classroom, we must remember one thing very clearly. What is it? We are not entering a chapter, we are entering a heartbeat. Poetry is meant to be completed. No, that's wrong. Poetry is meant to be experienced. And the moment a teacher treats a poem like prose, like information, like a set of questions and answers, poetry dies silently in the classroom. As teachers, our first responsibility is not to explain poetry. Our first responsibility is to feel it. Because poetry is born from emotion, not from explanation. It is written when language and heart both go apart. Language fails, heart takes over. When we teach poetry, we are not teaching meanings of words. We are teaching students how to listen to silence between words, how to hear pain in pause, how to sense hope in an image, and how to recognize themselves in someone else's feelings. Poetry is a lived experience. Therefore, teaching poetry must also be a lived experience. A teacher of poetry must first become a performer using voice modulation, rhythm, pause, and emotion. The poem must be heard before it is understood because meaning enters through ear and stays in the heart. When we read a poem aloud without feeling, students don't just listen, they connect. And connection is the foundation of learning. Poetry teaching is not about what is the theme. It is about asking what did this poem make you feel? What memory did it awaken? What question did it leave behind? In poetry classrooms, there are no wrong answers. There are only honest responses. This is where poetry becomes a powerful tool. It gives voice to students who struggle to speak. It comforts those who feel unseen. And it empowers those who are still discovering themselves. And friends, from a pedagogical perspective, poetry beautifully integrates all domains of learning. Cognitive, when students interpret and analyze. Affective, when they empathize and respond emotionally. Psychomotor, when they recite, perform, create, and express. Poetry classrooms are naturally experimental, inclusive, and student centered. Exactly what the National Education Policy and NCF envision. When we teach poetry with sensitivity, we are not just building literary skills, we are nurturing emotional intelligence, critical thinking, creativity, and compassion. A child who understands people, and finally, it prepares children from other perspective also. Remember, facts may be forgotten, rules may fade, but a poem once felt is remembered forever. So let us not teach poetry as a burden to finish, but as a gift to feel. Let us not ask students to memorize poetry, but to meet themselves through poetry. Meet themselves through poetry. Because poetry does not prepare students for exams, it prepares them for life. Thank you very much.